Morning. Good morning, everybody. Happy Saturday. Hope you're all doing well. Smork, Hactics, good morning to both of you. Hactics, you're actually making it to the start of a stream. There's nothing phenomenal that you're missing at the start of the stream, but thanks for coming in. I appreciate that. Smork, I need more expensive coin options. You have 6K coins. Okay, so one, thank you for building up 6K coins. And two, you're right, I do need some more coin options. I need more sub benefits. So maybe that's something we can work on later as well. I was screwing around a little bit with TTS stuff, but I'm not sure how much use that'd get. So we'll see. I'm open to suggestions though, if you have anything to suggest. All right, so today I was going to start with doing some enhancements to my bankNet. I think a couple people suggested that some of the bank actions that I'm doing could be more responsive. Free Frag, good morning. How are you? So one of the things we need is a live balance, because this balance right now is stored in the database, and it doesn't need to be really, because we could reach out and ping each node in the banknet to get its real-time balance. There's probably some other stuff that we can do there once we start doing more pinging. Right now, the only outreach that my library user does to my bank is when someone requests a withdrawal. So I had some enhancements in here, but yeah, I think that's the big. Is that the big one? Well, let's go do the balance first. Yeah, here it is. Refactor all the balance calculations to use the public bot script, and then convert this logic here, to get the live balances instead of from the database. So I can still have so here's the thing, right? Like, I like having the balance stored in the database just because it gives me the ability to, let's say if I get breached and one of my bank nodes gets emptied out, instead of just going to check my balance at some point and realizing that that node is empty, I could actually have a record of how much was lost. I don't know if that means really anything. Like, I can't really do anything with that information, but I like having more data. Whenever I can have more data, I have more data. So let's start with that then. So the first thing we're going to have to do, the withdraw script for the bot users needs to do more than just withdrawing now, so it's not really a withdraw script. So I'm thinking this probably needs to start going back to resembling more like what the original ATM script that I had on my bot user was, which is a shame because I think I've deleted it. So I think we're going to rename this. So we're going to rename this script. I'll have to remember as well that as soon as I up this, the other script is going to break. So let me do the rename in one step. So we'll go back to calling this ATM, because why not? And then I'm going to go, actually let's rename both of them. Oh, hold on. Get HSE running. There we go. Okay, so rename that to ATM. So I'm thinking this could probably just be called withdraw, and the amount can just be the withdraw amount. And that might be the simplest change that we have to make there. That's right. Jorstar suggested here that what we actually do is turn the bank node scripts into essentially like a little array. Is that? Yeah, that's what he's doing. He's returning it as like a library, essentially. Have it return the functions. Yeah. So Yeah, so I don't need this at all. Or rather, balance X. Account balance of owner. X for upgrade to caller. Yeah, because he has his set up to do a whole bunch of extra stuff. So X for GC. So if I call that, all right. So Joestar loves the compressed code, but I'm not. I prefer readability over compression. All right. So if I call without args, I will return the function object. I don't think there's any reason why my bank node would be called with any other parameters, because it should, the idea is it be hands off, and that my library user, the central user, should be the only one that's ever making these calls. So I think I just always return these and use it as a library. Add a transfer to. Well, we'll start with replicating what we have right now, because I want to make sure that I do it in small steps so nothing just totally blows up in the background, because the bot brains and everything are currently running and stuff. Though I guess they won't as soon as I update this. Anyway, one step at a time. So I am just going to have these two for now, because Joestar has his botnet doing upgrade management, and I do not have any of that infrastructure in place, so there's no point having that right now. So balance and X for GC. I'm going to prefer using the term withdraw just because that's the nomenclature I'm already using, and I want my withdraw to continue to have memos on it. X for GC to caller. Oh, X. X is the whole object. That's interesting. Well, I think what I would do is I would actually have the caller doing the memo setting. So from my bank script, my central bank script, I would just do withdraw and pass the amount and the memo in the object that I'm passing in. I think it makes more sense to do it at that point, because my bankNet is technically my library user, and if I were to call this from somewhere else, it would just be a regular withdraw. It wouldn't be a bankNet withdraw. So I think it's better to not have it in here. In fact, I should probably not have put it in here to begin with, but I did. So balance and withdraw, I think that's all I have to do. So if I go back to my bank, we are not working on balance right now though. We are working on withdraw. Oh, I think all I have to do is change these, right? So this ends up being is that right? What did Joestar have for the usage? I don't think I saw the usage, because what it should be is ATM withdraw, right? Because ATM returns that function. Which is, I guess the point that Joestar was making is keep the bank nodes with the smallest number of characters in their scripts, because the library user already has just a ton of stuff. Zybank ATM. Yeah, so that's what I have here, right? It's low sec because of my whitelist, but low sec. In fact, actually, that's something else that I was thinking of. I don't know if I want my whitelist to be punishing people anymore, because well, that's something else, but I'm going to put that down as a to-do. Don't want whitelist taking GC anymore. I'm not broke anymore, so I don't need that. And all it does is expose my bankNet users to someone, and just anyone can ping all of my bankNet users essentially by just hitting any one of my scripts and not being in the whitelist. So this works on one line though, right, Smork? Bank, ATM, withdraw, and then the object that I want. So yeah, alright. So then I don't need that anymore. So it's 179 characters now. And that's two functions. That's balance and withdraw. I think the first place I'm going to take this whitelist is from here. And since I'm only using this in one spot, I can probably do this as well. I might want to cache the ATM call. Right now I'm calling it twice. Actually, I'm not calling it twice, right? Because these are two different ATM calls. This is Zybank and that's Zybonk. So I have to do the full thing twice, unfortunately. In fact, if I add nodes, yeah, that's okay. Yeah, it's a small difference. My bank node users will eventually not follow this naming convention. Because I don't necessarily like the idea that like my worker nodes or whatever are associated with me. So like I don't mind my primary user, my library user, maybe another alt having kind of that same Zy naming convention. But I think all of my like bots that I use for automation, I'm going to slowly convert them all to like an anonymous NPC name so that people can't tell. Okay, so that should be good enough then, right? So we'll copy this over top of the other script, rename this one as well to ATM. Morning, Raven. How are you? How you doing? Thanks for coming in. All right, so I should be able to up both of those. Let's up the bank script and then go to the bank user, up the ATM. Oh, I have to up withdraw and delete it, and then up ATM, and then go to my other user, other bank user, up withdraw, I guess it's in my history, withdraw, delete, up ATM. Cannot find the source file. Oh, didn't save it. Here we go. Okay. So, I should now be able to still withdraw. So let's go withdraw 10. Nope. Yeah, something didn't quite work there. So it says one of these is not a function. So I think what it's saying is ATM is not a function. Oh, because I didn't make it public. Okay. Now I have to wait for them to finish shifting. Hactics, you weren't listening for a bit, but you did hear using fake NPC names as bank users. Yeah, so basically, like, all of my all of the users that I use either through automation or as bots, like cron bots or whatever, I think I want to have them not be tied to me through a strict naming convention. Especially, like, I don't want someone to come across a bot and know that it's me necessarily. I'm not sure though how I feel about that, because I know some players do. Maybe it's better. Maybe it's better if, yeah, that's the thing, right? It's a double-edged sword. Because, like, maybe people who are friendly to me will be like, oh, that's one of Xylox's bots, I'm not going to do anything to it. But if someone was like, I'm going to go mess with Xylox because I think it'll be funny, then they could actually single me out, maybe. And then again, maybe it's not, maybe it doesn't matter. Yeah, I don't know. I have to think about it a bit. I do have this though, which I can show off while, well, I mean, it's not showing off, it's like 6 lines of code, but I was just screwing around with it. Yeah. So, like, I mean, it's pretty obvious that you can just generate these, no problem. But I was thinking of if there was something that I could do for that. Using NPC names is inviting NPC farmers to breach you. That is true, right? So, like, most people filter out player locations when they're doing their automations. So that might actually be one advantage to not doing that on my bank users. So yeah, I think Hactics, I think it's probably best. I think you're right. Probably leave my bank users named in a more player obvious way, and then I could have my breaching automation users use NPC names, because they won't ever have anything on them anyway, so if someone tries to breach them, it won't matter. But I was thinking, like, I could use this to build a fake corporation, but none of these will do anything. I don't know. I don't know what to do that with this. Anyway, all right, let's see if my withdraw is ready. Not yet. Nope, it's not ready yet. Have fake NPC users with fake location scripts that leak in fake corporation scripts and steal your stuff. Yeah, that's what I was trying to figure out, because, like, you can have a fake location script, right? But the fake location script doesn't leak through the built-in NPC corporations the way that I would have to make something. See, I would like to make a script right that would behave like one of these. The only problem is that, like, anyone who's using show.npcs, for example, are immediately protected from my honeypot, I guess you can call it, right? So it would only really hit newbies. I'm wondering, like, are there people who don't use this list, who don't use a hard-coded list of the public scripts? It would be nice to try to come up with a plan that would trick me. That would be good enough to trick myself if I didn't know better. Sprinkle in some real ones, and maybe eventually people will add it to their scrapers. I mean, that'd be pretty funny, but yeah, it's a lot. That's a lot of work though, because you have to make the message board page shift, or people will catch on maybe. Yeah, that's a lot. That's a lot more work. That's like a huge script, right? That we're talking about. But I could. I'm gonna put that in my notes if I don't have it already. My plan. I think I had a plan here, like honeypot. I think that's like a. I don't like that idea. I like the. Actually, I should just say. Fake public corp. But the public corps don't sit. Do they sit in these? Yeah, they do, because the gray sectors are for scripts that haven't been run in a long time, right? They're like dead scripts. Fake public corp that has real NPCs in it, but some fakes also that I would own. All right. Okay. Bank user should be ready now. Not quite. Because it's returning. Is it because it's returning the function? I can't call it from the CLI because it's returning the function. And this clearly didn't work, because it should have gone through and called that bot, unless they're counted as offline. No, they're still recorded as online. Looks right to you? Yeah. Maybe Jorstar was writing that on the fly. So I should just be able to call this. Alright, let's go back to my library user, because my library user should also be able to withdraw, and it might be a little easier from here. So I should just be able to call this. Like right off the top, let's just call Zybank ATM withdraw 1. And we'll just get rid of this memo for now. Okay. So I should just be able to do bank. I should be able to do bank. No. So the ATM script is saying if I'm not whitelisted, return true. So maybe this should return whitelisted, not whitelisted. That'll shift its security. No, it won't. That should be fine. Up ATM. And I should just be able to call ATM. Okay, so that's fine. It is returning the object. Something doesn't feel right about this. Why is it just returning success? So something went wrong here. What's it complaining about? FS accounts X for GC call to caller. Yeah, it does look right. I called without args? No, I called with args. Withdraw, I passed it an object. So this should have returned the lib, right? Which has a withdraw and a balance. Like if I do return ATM.balance instead, balance shouldn't take any args. See, balance works. So why doesn't withdraw work? You pass. Oh, it's because it has to be amount, not A. That's the whole problem. That's the whole problem. Yep. Thanks, Mark. That's absolutely correct. Okay. I'm just gonna do that because alright, that should do it. I should be able to do withdraw 10. Nope. Oh. That's because this script isn't withdraw. It's action withdraw, and it's amount 10. There we go. Okay. Okay. Back to normal. So, all right. So now, back on track here. Getting the, getting the balance to use the new subscripts. So it's going to be the same thing here. I think instead of this, bot scripts, and then if I take this part off, and then where I was going through bot scripts during withdraw, I would do that dot withdraw balance to take. That should also work. Oh, bot scripts. Scripts. No. Bot scripts at the bot dot withdraw. So this should be the script object. I should be able to call dot withdraw on it. YT at something is not a function. It's saying this is not a function. This. Okay, that's better. So all I need now is an array of the botnet's ATM scripts. That's a lot easier to maintain. And then the actual action will be down here, and this will allow me to loop through that list to call all the other endpoints. So now I should be able to do the same thing with the balances. Where is my balance? Okay, so balance is here. I am calling available balance and total GC functions. So what's available balance doing? It is getting all the bots. So doing a lot of database work in here. So this is going to be a bit of a refactor. So total GC max is fine because this has to do with the bot tier, has nothing to do with the actual value. This though, so this gets me all the bankNet bots that are online. And instead of mapping, I want to do x0, which is the name of the bot. I want to do bot scripts at exit0 dot balance. That should hit, oh, I mistyped it again. That should go and hit each bot, each online bot, and hit their balance function, and then return those values instead. So this should be a live balance. So this should just still work. It appears to work. I suppose to test it, I could... Well, the withdraw is updating the database amount, though. The withdraw and the update are still updating the database amounts. I like keeping the last known balance in the database. Okay, so we have some bankNet stuff maybe, yeah, that I need to check as well. So maybe the bankNet could all right, let's start with the bot check-in here. So the bot's going to check in with its balances. So the bot check-in is also going to hit all the bots. This code's a little crowded. easier to read. The balance comes from, so the balance that it writes into the database is live. The thing is, even if the bot goes offline, the balance call will work because it's just a normal public script. But it won't tell me how much was lost. If I make it a live balance, I guess I have to think about what I actually want to do here. What do I want to do? I would like to have, when I ask it for its balance, that it's as up to date as possible, which we've done. I want the bots running their cron jobs, because when they get breached, the cron job will stop. So that will tell me one of my bankNet nodes has been breached. That's good. I want to keep the balance in the database, the last known balance in the database, so that if I do get breached and all my GC gets taken, I know how much has gone missing. I think all of those goals are currently met. So I don't necessarily think I have to change any of this stuff. Oh, hold on. Because this is using a live balance now. No, but it's using only online bots. Okay. I have a bot go online. Alright, I have a bot online. It checks in with its balance. It says, I have 1 billion GC. Okay, great. Its next check-in is going to be in 40 minutes. In the database, it's recorded as online with 1 billion. Someone breaches my bankNet user and takes the 1 billion GC out. When I do balance, when I calculate the live balance, it will show that user is empty, so I will be missing 1 billion GC. The database record will still list that user as having 1 billion GC. When bot user number 2 goes to check in and it goes to calculate its equalization payment, that bot is still listed as online because it hasn't gone to check in yet. So it will calculate the available balance and it will calculate the equalized balance. And if this bot has more than the equalized balance, it will start sending GC to the other bot, and the other bot's currently breached. Is there a way to check if a given user is currently in a breached state? I don't want to send GC to a bank bot if they're currently breached. sys status, but it only works for the caller. Yeah. So sys status would say, I'm breached. Take myself offline. But if it's breached, this bot check-in code won't be getting called because this is what the bot brain calls in. So when it's breached, the cron bots go offline, right? So that won't happen. It's more like wanting to check if the other bot it's about to send GC to is breached or not. I guess you can't tell. So I have my automation, my cracking automation running, and it's constantly depositing stuff into my bank. And someone breaches one of my bank users, takes all the GC out of it, and I'll continue depositing into it. And they can just be like, oh, more GC, thank you, thank you. Oh, thank you, yes, more, thank you. And they can just keep taking it while it's breached. I want to not send stuff to it if it's been breached. Maybe there's not a way to do that. Or maybe I need to think about it more. To do. Is there a way to skip a bot if it's currently breached? Skip another bot. Skip sending to another bot if it's currently breached. Okay, we'll just leave that for how it is right now. If my bankNet bots gets breached, the money's gone anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Okay, so that's not an issue, I don't think. Race condition. I've had that happen. It just doesn't equalize appropriately, but it does on the next run. Check when approaching max GC. I haven't done that yet. Okay. So when I update my balances, I should probably go and update the balance I have in the database immediately because I already have that information, right? So here, update this bot's balance. I should be doing in the balance call as well. So I have the available balance. Maybe this is getting a little too complicated. No, I don't want to update the database. I've already decided that. I don't want to do that. Don't touch the database. I want the database to be the last time it checked in. Okay, not touching any of that stuff. So I don't want... Oh, you know what I could have? I could have actual balance in my bankNet status so that I can notice a discrepancy when I go to check the status of my bankNet. That might be better. So I could add into the display an actual balance. And I have to move all of these. So actual balance can be we want bot scripts at bot 0. Whoops. Dot balance. And I want to run lib to gc stir on it. So I have actual balanced and last balance. Okay, let's see what that looks like. Not quite. Oh, need a comma, because that's an array of strings. So their actual balances and their last balances are off slightly. And I think that's because they're offline. Did I not just check for new offline bots? Oh, I give them 15 seconds. Did I just hit an edge case? That one was just about to get marked off, and I was like 4 seconds early. So if I do this again, it should be marked as offline. Yeah, there it goes. That's funny. Okay. They'll both be knocked offline because I was running commands on them. There we go. There. So the actual balances and the last balances match. Okay. So that's okay. I think that's good. I could have an alert as well. I'll put a to-do here. I don't know if I want to right now, but to-do, possibly alert when there is a discrepancy between actual and last balances. All right. What other to-dos do I have in here? A lot. Rethink splitting logic. Let the bots do more balancing themselves. Ideally deposit to the minimum required number of bots in order to obfuscate the users in the banknet. Balancing logic will then also have to take into consideration whether or not a particular bot has room for an equalization transfer. I don't think I'm going to do that. I think what I want to do is go and change my whitelisting behavior on all my public scripts. So my ATM scripts have already changed their whitelisted behavior. Oops. That's interesting. I just ran the bot brain and it broke. Maybe that's a previous error. Yeah, because it was loaded, so I'm not gonna worry about that. Okay, So I want to change my whitelist punishment to not punish at all, because that will actually, currently the way that it's working now is it will deposit all of the user's GC into my banknet, but that means that I basically give them a list of all my banknet users. I go, here's where I put all your GC, feel free to go and get it. And I'd rather not aggravate someone and give them a reason to go after my banknet. So I have to go through now and change all my whitelisting punishments to just not punish. So the first thing I'll do is just whitelist, and if they're not whitelisted, I just return success, and they won't have any idea what it's done. And I would rather do that because that hides the purpose of these scripts. I mean, they're named bank, so obviously they're going to have some idea what it's doing. But I would rather not give them too much information. Okay. Oh. So, actually, it's not quite true for this one. For this one, I want a variation of this. I want to check the whitelist. If it's not whitelisted, just return OK true. This is the shortcut that I have for quick depositing. So I want to keep that shortcut there. Support quick deposit. So if you don't send any args, it deposits all the money automatically, because I'm using that all over the place. I don't want to break that functionality. Alright, the utilities script, which is where my whitelist lives, is also whitelisted. Somewhere. Oh, here. I just want to return OK true. You're not whitelisted? Success, but without saying anything. Unicrack script. Oh, these are my to-dos, that's why I'm missing files. With my massive account NT. My account NT is now... I keep saying this. My account NT is mostly solved. I don't know how many times I've said that. There are still some edge cases. Oh, actually, yeah. We'll look at that in a second. I have a bunch of data that I've captured from my account NT solutions now. So we should go check that data to see what's there. Tier 2 scrape. Whitelist. Just return OK true. These are returning old style args. Probably with too many characters. I don't think it makes a difference. What was this one? Scrolling up too far. Whatever, doesn't matter. Tier 2 scrape. I was thinking of combining my scraping scripts because I can probably do that. Like Tier 2 scrape is 1800 and Tier 1 scrape is 1700. So I have room on my library user to combine those scripts, and I can just do scrape instead of having separate scraping scripts, and that'll save me a pub slot as well. Which I should probably write that down somewhere. My plan, maybe? I'll just put it here. Here. To do. Combine the two scraping scripts to save pub slots. Alright. Tier 1 whitelist is good. Oh, the whitelist is below my usage. Don't want that. I don't want people having anything. Whitelist right away. Nope. Can't whitelist. Fuck. Okay, hold on. What am I doing here? These two. You go down here. There. So my tier 2 script is doing the same thing, I think, actually. Yep. Usage goes below the whitelist. Well, I'm checking this twice now. Inefficient. That's what happens when you put them in the different places. Okay, I think that's good now. QR solver. Oh, my QR solver. I never want to have to look at this again. It is mostly working, and I never want to touch that again. Okay. So I think that's it. So I'll re-up all of these now. All right. Ah, nose is itchy. Okay. Make sure my banknet's still doing okay. Looks good. Okay. All right, let's close these for now. What was the other thing that I wanted to do? What was the next thing I wanted to do? Look at the stats for my account entities stuff. So where did I put that in my database? My account NT solution information. Maybe I buried it in my solving function? There it is, account NT stats. So my utility script has a very basic database record reader. I have a feeling actually that this is going to be unreadable because there's going to be too much data here. Yeah, that's a lot of data. So I'm probably going to have to write a tool to parse this and analyze it. So I record. What I'm trying to find out here is what the slosh values are on the account NTs. Because I find that sometimes I slosh too much, and sometimes I don't slosh enough. When I slosh too much, my cracking script takes longer than it needs to because I've generated a bunch of answers that aren't even likely possible. So I could have just skipped generating those possible answers at all and saved myself attempts. When I don't generate enough, what happens is I don't get the answer. I generate a bunch of possibles. I go through all of them. None of them work. And then my script terminates because it goes, I've found an unsolvable account NT. So both of those are bad. The second case is obviously more bad. I'm trying to find out if there's a relationship between the initial ranges and the actual ranges. So it gives you an initial 2 dates, which end up coming out to what I calculate as an initial start and end index in your account transaction history. So an initial start and initial end. And then I do a whole bunch of sizing, random sizing, crawling, jumping back and forth until I get the right answer. And then when I get the right answer, I record what the correct answer's real start and end indexes were and what the actual range was between those two. And then I record what I was given, what worked, and the total amount of slosh, so the distance between the start and end, the start index and the actual index, and then the start. My nose is so itchy. Anyway, so I want to calculate, like, what's the range that I've encountered, and is there a relationship between them? Like, if I'm giving it an initial range of like 4, will the actual range ever be 20? Or will it always be like within, plus or minus a certain amount from the initial range? And therefore, instead of, right now I have a hard-coded maximum slosh in my script of 25. Maybe I could make that a dynamic one that I calculate based off of the initial range that I'm given. That would be the last thing that I can think of to do with my account NT to make it a bit better. So you can see here, like, the initial range and the actual range. Like, the bottom slosh here was 23, which is insane. My max is 25. So there are real answers here that almost approach my maximum of 23. The initial range was 12 and the actual range was 22. So there's a variance of 10. So I think maybe I should just write a quick script to go through and calculate the minimum, average, and maximum variances of ranges. Minimum, average, and maximum variances. Do I have enough data to calculate a meaningful average? Doesn't look like I actually have that much data here, to be honest. But this data only comes from cracking, so I have to run my automation. Not only does it only comes from cracking, it only comes from cracking account NTs where I actually successfully solve them. So I have to let my automation kind of just keep ripping along, which means I need to increase my banknet size again. Anyway, one step at a time. So let's run an analysis script here. So let's take the account NT script that we had. This was what I was using to build out the solution from scratch to get a better account NT solve, which I have done. And all this code is now embedded in the UniCracked, so I don't need it. So I'm going to repurpose this to run the analysis on the tool instead. Actually, what I should do is just there. Run the analysis on this data now instead. So we'll start with that. So dbstats is now going to be this array of arrays of objects. It's an array of arrays of objects, and the objects contain the values. Wait, is that right? Why are each one of these an array of 1? Well, it doesn't matter because that's how I've been recording it, so it's irrelevant. Okay, so let solve. Sorry, hold on. That's for let solve of db stats. So for each one of these, this is the record, which is an array. So each one of these, right? The value v is an array, and inside it is an array of 1 for some stupid reason. So solve at 0 is the object. So solve at 0 should have a initial top, initial bottom. So if I do dot initial range, let's do here. So I can do, I'm just gonna copy in my little log script that I have. So I'll log initial range, I'll log actual range, and then I'll break just to make sure I'm getting the first one here. So up count nt, and then we'll just run a count nt. That didn't do anything. Do I have to do db stats at 0? Log db stats dot length. Oh, that counts as a stupid typo because I wasted 1 minute on it. All right, there we go. Okay, so actual range, initial range was 10 and the actual range was 3, so it actually was 7 less. So that means it gave me these 2 dates, but the answer it accepted was for like these 3 items, which is crazy. That's crazy small. So I want to just write out the average, I think. So I'll have a average. I just need a total. Let total. And total is going to be wait, what am I calculating here? I want the minimum. Okay. I want the min range. I want the max range. And I want the average range, which means I need the average range is just the I'm having a math in the morning problem. It is, I want the average, hold on, min and max, differences. These are differences. I'm going to get these 2 off the screen because they're confusing me. So what I want is I want the min range difference. max range difference and the average range difference. And then I have to do the difference, which is equal to solve at 0 dot this is going to give me negatives though. The average could come out very small because so I want to do the absolute difference. Solve dot initial range. Like it doesn't matter what order I do them in. Minus solve actual. Okay. Min difference is going to equal 0. Equals 0. Equals 0. If min range difference, actually I should leave this one uninitialized. If it equals null or the difference is less than the min range difference, then min range difference is going to equal this current difference. Then I do the reverse with max. So don't initialize that. If the max range difference is null or the difference is greater than it, max, and then the average is going to be a running total difference. And then the average range difference is going to be total range differences divided by dB stats length. And then we'll log. So up here we'll do total. So we'll do data set size. And then we will log these three values. So we will log min range, which is min range difference. Sorry, yeah. Min range diff, max range diff, and average diff. Okay. So it never went more than plus or minus 10? Off the range. So the given range and the actual range never went more than 10. And it's possible with only 227 answers. Actually, the 227 account NT solves being recorded is not not an insignificant data set size. Just to make it look nicer with the built-in CLI parsing or whatever. That would mean that my I don't think that I think that might be a side effect maybe of a condition that I have built in. Do you see that crap right here? That's this. Shit. So the problem is I have built that restriction of plus or minus 10 into my cracking script. That's why I'm seeing that effect. I have artificially truncated my dataset. Fuck. I did that on purpose to try to restrict the number of answers, and that may actually... So what that means is, even with that restriction in place, I am hitting it, and could conceivably be exceeding it if I take that restriction out. I mean, it's not hard to test. If I take the restriction out and then run my automation for a few minutes, I could run my stats again, and then I'll know. If my max has hit 11, then that means this could be responsible. There's more stats I can squeeze out of this though, because I want to know also if there is. Let me just write them down. What do I want to know here? I want to know min, max, and average ranges. I want to know if there's a causal, there's a direct relationship between the range Fuck. What do I want to know? I want to know if there a relationship between the... Oh right, there's something else I'm not getting here, and that is the slosh between the range and slosh. So here, the top slosh was 0. And that means that the initial top index we were given of 2 was the same as the actual top index of 2. So we didn't need to slosh on the top at all. The bottom, though, we had to slosh 10, which is plus or minus 5. We started at 12 and we ended up with 7, which is minus 5. So the initial range was 10 and the actual range was 5. which is the difference between the initial range and the total of the sloshes, if that makes sense. There's a little bit of math there. So I want to know, is the slosh, can I make the slosh variable? Can I make the slosh variable by calculating it based off the given range? That's my question. If I have to slosh like 30, right, to get the answer, then I'll do it, right? If I have to run an account NT solve for 100 seconds in order to crack a location, I will do that. Because when I'm running an automation, if I'm in the hard line and I try to crack a location, that's it, I'm committed to it. So I might as well go as long as possible. But it sucks when I invest like 100 seconds into a location and I still don't get the answer, because that's a total waste of time. So if I can extend my range, go look, I'll give you 400 answers to try, but the answer will be within that 400, then it's worth it. Alright, we got an ad. Oh, Bezos tax. The Bezos tax is coming. So we have to pay our tax to Lord Jeffrey Bezos. So I'm gonna go take a bathroom break and stretch my legs, and I'll be back in a few minutes. All right.
Brondo's got what? That's great.
Hydrate.
Yeah, it's got electrolytes.
I'll also drink some of this coffee.
What are electrolytes? Do you even know?
It's what they use to make Brondo.
Yeah, but why do they use them to make Brondo?
Because Brondo's got electrolytes. All right. Thank you, Smart. I'll be back. All right, I'm back. Thank you for waiting. Okay, good girl. All right, so stats. So I think part of the problem is that we have to disable this for now, because it's possible that we are exceeding that range in real life, and that could be responsible for some of the failures that we're seeing. Where's my max slosh? I think it's way up here at the top. Max account NT slosh is 25. Did I make that parameterize? I don't think I did. I think that was the idea, or I did that at some point in time. All right, so I think what we can do is up this. And then I could use the beta lock sim. Beta lock sim? Beta lock sim will be faster. That question though, right? Smark, I think you've asked this question before. How accurate is the lock sim? It seems pretty damn accurate because I've used it to build all of my solves, and it's pretty good at real locations. But the question always is lingering, right? Is the account NT really working like the real one? Especially because I seem to do so well against the lock sims account NTs, but flounder sometimes when it comes to ones that I find out in the wild. So I think what I want to do is run some tier 2 automation for maybe a few minutes. Reset the database and only build on real locks. So some of this data, I mean, I think most of this data is actually already real, Smork. But the, yeah, I think I have to. Man, there's so many data points in there though. 227. I hate throwing away data, but yeah, I think you're right. Doesn't matter if it has it, yeah. So, okay. So I upped Unicrack. I have to clear out my database, and in fact, I don't have a DB delete, which I'm gonna add to my utils, because that makes it a lot faster to do this. DB delete is gonna be .r, the first one with this. I don't think .r actually returns anything. If db is delete and a.confirm is not equal to true, return actually, hold on, let's do a little change on this here. So try to find it and make sure that it exists, right? Kitty, what are you doing? What are you doing? My kitty is freaking out. Yeah, I love you too. You're a good girl. Okay. So make sure that it exists. Then if a.confirm is not equal to true, I can return please confirm deletion of DB record with ID a.id. What does it not like about this? I just want to return as a string. And then else I will do this. Oh, I guess I don't need an else because these are all early returns, so I can do first, I do delete, and then I can return, I don't know what I'm doing here, return okay true, and message DB record with ID this deleted. All right, and then we'll go over here, and if when we're saving the account stats here, I can do if not a.test. Actually, I can probably wrap this whole thing here in it. If not a.test. So only if I don't have test parameters being passed in here will I then save the stats to the database. Utils should have a db delete now. I'm gonna add db delete to my usage. Okay, up unicrack and up utils. And then I should be able to do xylib.utils db delete with ID of account nt stats. Please confirm deletion. Confirm true. Alright. Now if I do it again, it should say it doesn't exist. Alright. So I commented out the range cap on my solve. I think I'll just let my automation run now. Add a clause if the script.name. I actually don't use the I actually have like the beta locksym now, some of it hard coded into my cracking script if I give a certain set of parameters. So I have a test parameter now. So I don't ever call my cracking script like on beta locksym like that. Now if I pass in a test parameter, my code will automatically call beta locksym instead of a given target. So I'm just checking that instead. Alright, so let's get hackmud auto up and running here. I would like for it to actually show. Okay. I am going to, what's this? This is, let's only use my tier 2 users for now, because you won't get an account NT on your tier 1 users. Alright. I mean, this way we can kind of see, get a look at what my automation, how far my automation has progressed so far, because I've had to put in a lot of work on both the automation, the scraping script, and my cracking script, because every once in a while I'll hit an edge case somewhere that I didn't account for. So, and a lot of it's like error correction, like if the CLI takes a little too long processing a flush command or something like that, it can get screwed up. So a lot of it is like, turn the hackmud volume down a bit. Yeah, I don't know why it's so loud right now, honestly. Is that any better? Well, I guess we'll find it when we enter hardline again. So the yeah, like there's a lot of times where I found that I think it's just a nature of the Win32 libraries that when sometimes a message doesn't get sent, or sometimes the messages get sent out of order. Just occasionally there's just some funkiness that can happen, and so I had to build like a whole bunch of stuff into my automation to like be aware when it's stuck, so I can just bail out. Otherwise, I was getting like, I was ending up in tons of scenarios where my automation would get stuck in a loop doing something bad. So just like a lot of like tweaking. How's the volume on that, Smork? Is that a bit better? Yeah? Alright. Something else I have to do is separate audio controls audio controls for my audio and OBS, because right now I just have everything coming through as desktop. So it'd probably be better if I had some more control over specific app volumes, because yeah, I find like, you know, Helldivers or Monster Hunter or whatever, the volume's fine, but like hackmud, it gets really loud on stream for some reason. So it's doing okay, the automation. But yeah, I'm not going to get, like, I had 227 data points. So it's going to take a while before I get a meaningful average. Actually, I think it's going to take a while before I get, like... It's going to take a while before I have any meaningful data there, I think. Yeah, so what happened there is the built-in system flush came through in the middle of the crack when I only had part of the data I was looking for. But that's like an edge case. It won't be for today, no. So I think I'm just gonna I'm gonna let this run for another. Well, I'm gonna let this run to the end of this user. And I will stop it. Okay. And then we can minimize that for now. So oh, one of my bankNet bots went offline. Oh no, that was an old message. That was an old message. Okay, so I mean the scraping script, I mean the automation itself is looking okay, but I'll have to really let it rip before I get that data. If I look at what I have for now, I have 2. I just have 2. So yeah, I'll have to, it'll be a while before I have that up. See my key stats. Like some of these keys are rough. 0.62% drop rate that I've seen. That's really small. I actually still haven't seen like both of these. The ELL one I found on my own, and the FR8 I think is one of the ones you gave me, Smork, when I was testing my bot key lookups. I was thinking of putting one of my bank users with a super low cooldown bot brain so it can check for keys more often, and having my other bot users on like a lower cooldown because it's not as high a priority for them, so that I at least have one user checking for keys more often than once every 40 minutes. But that, I mean, it's not a bad idea because I'm almost at cap on my bank, and it's like, what am I using my, what's my total balance here? Like I have 8.2 billion GC. What am I using it for? Nothing. So I might as well use it on cronbots looking for keys, right? Let's look. Let's look at the cronbots here. Look at cronbot V2s. No, let's look at like rarity 2s. So the cooldown is 1182, so that's just under 20 minutes. If I do cooldown less than or equal to, geez, can't type, 900. There are some there. What about like 600? No. 700. 800. $787. So that's just over 10 minutes. That's like it's like 13 minutes. That's way faster. But I think the problem is, why isn't this showing up either? Oh, it is. Like 787 divided by 60 is 13 minutes and like 6 seconds. So what was it? 60 times 24. That's how many seconds. Divided by 787. So it'll run 109.78 times per day times 40,500. So 4.4 million GC per day to run that. That's not that bad. I have 3.8 billion, right? So I could run that for many days without running any automation at all. But this will give me like a GC sync for some of my automation GC, because I'm almost already at cap on my 2 users. Like I'm at like 85% capacity or something right now. What was my capacity? 82% capacity. So what was it? This one? I need 1 million GC. And we'll send it to the bank user, I guess. I have a bunch of loot as well, and I'm not sure what to do with it yet. I haven't looked at any of them. The PvP things, I'm probably just going to sell them, but the public scripts, like, what's this, 27? 16 and 27? My public scripts? They're 3 slots each. That's pretty good for a public script. Anyway, send Zai Bank 29. Okay, and then user Zai Bank. What does my bot brain script do again? It looks for just a bot brain and then unloads it and loads it. Unload 11, load 12, and call 11. Okay, so this one's going to be running every like 12 minutes. 11 point something minutes. So that's going to be way more expensive, but that's okay because I've got the GC right now and it's not doing anything. This way I can check for keys a little bit more rapidly and maybe I can pick up some rarer keys. Something else that I can do. What time is it? It's 11. Okay. Okay, so I mean that's all that I can do with the account NT now, and I'll have to just let my automation rip for a while to farm that data. Did I have any? I have lots of other to-dos to here as well. So I'm not sure that I need to do this anymore now that I'm not allowing, now that I am no longer allowing strangers to deposit into my bank either through punishment or whatever. Actually, I should just make sure this whitelist before I run any functions. Yeah, I just return true. Then I check for quick deposit. So I don't think I need to obfuscate my bots. But I did notice that when I'm doing my automated cracking, that if I have to deposit to like 3 users, it does slow me down significantly more. Like if I had 5 bank bots and I go to do a deposit, I have to actually call deposit 5 times while I'm cracking. So this might still be better under a certain number, if the deposit's under a certain number, to just deposit it to one user in my banknet and then allow them to equalize it amongst themselves, because that will save execution time in my cracking script. And because my bank user is now running its cron job every 11 minutes, it will be equalizing far more frequently as well. So I could send the excess to that user if it's under a certain amount. Like if that user has room, I can send the GC just to that user, allow it to equalize every 11 minutes on its own. Ideally, deposit or withdraw using the minimum required number of bots in order to save execution time from other scripts. This still is true. The balancing logic will also have to take into consideration whether or not a particular bot has room for an equalization transfer, since, well, I don't have to say since anything. It's a bit of a refactor also. So I can start by making the check here that the user I am going to send it to has room for it, the equalization transfer. Oh no, the equalization transfer logic is in here. It's in the bot check-in call. This makes the equalization calculation a lot more difficult though, because it's not just a straight divide anymore. There's an optimal equalized balance and then an actual equalized balance. Fuck. Why is it like this? Why is it always like this? Everything is so complicated. When am I going to get to tier 3? At the rate that I'm working at, I'm constantly creating more work for myself. I guess that's part of the fun. Next year? Yeah, probably next year. I'm constantly creating more work for myself. I mean, it's fun though, right? If you're having fun, it's a game, right? If you're having fun, that's all that matters. I would like to look at tier 3 though. I guess there's nothing holding me back, because tier 3 is going to be a lot of manual stuff to begin with on just one user. So I could just tier up my... Oh, that's a problem though. I would have to tier up a user and then be prepared to get breached and lose upgrades, right? Because that's another problem. So anyway, that's not going to be today anyways. So the equalization calculation. There's an equalized balance, which is how much each bot should have. Maybe it's already taking into consideration the maximum. Because so there's another problem, and that is if I have bots, of mixed tiers, which I don't right now, they're all just tier 2. The splitting will be uneven, right? Because the maximum balance for each bot will be different. But as it is right now, they're all tier 2. The equalized balance should never be more than what it already has room for. The available balance is now, this is now live, right? Note, available balance is now always live. Always the live balance. I don't like that method name. This is confusing. What is the available balance? Available balance is this is the balance of all of the online bots. I want to call this online balance. That's a bit better. Now I don't need that note because now the code is self-documenting. Available balance. Okay, now I'm not using the word available anymore. All right. So it checks the balance. So it checks this bot. So we already check. We already check if the current bot is over what it should have. But we are not checking if any of the other bots are over. We should not send GC to other bots if they are already over what they should have, because we will just be making the imbalance worse. Will the botnet balance itself in that case? Let's document this. Let's see what happens. Bot 1 has, let's say, if it has 5,000, bot 2 has 5,000. Bot 3 has, it won't do anything. If bot 1 has 7,000 and bot 2 has 5 and bot 3 has 5, it should send so let's make this like even. Should send 1,000 to each bot, and then these balances will be 6,000, 6,000, 6,000. 8,000 minus 1,000 minus 1,000 plus 1,000 plus 1,000, and then I end up with right 6, 6, and 6. Forget this. Now, what happens if I have 8, 8, and 5? The total is 16 is 21. Equalized total equals, equalized balance should be 21 divided by 7. Twenty-one divided by 3, which isn't divisible by 3. That's a bad example. I need an example that evenly divides by 3. Let's do 24. So it should be 8 each. So 9, 10, and 5. 10, 9, and 5. So this should be 8. It needs to send shit. So it needs to check each bot, and see how far above the equalized it is over the equalized balance. Subtract that amount This is complicated. It doesn't need to be perfect, it just needs to be close. Because the other bots will also attempt to equalize, and if they're always constantly just close to their equalized balance, even if every time they run they're never perfectly equal, that's okay. My whole banknet will fall apart if it reaches 100% capacity anyway, because at some point I'll try to do a deposit, it'll over deposit and something will blow up. So I have a to-do to handle depositing to full capacity anyway. I'll have to take the part that can be deposited and put it in, and take the remainder and send it to trust or something. Send it to a backup user and then stop. Then I won't send anymore, but the overflow will end up in another user. So the equalized balance is 8. So what I should do is I should take 3 What is it doing now? The equalized balance is how much every bot should have. I check if I have more than I should have. If I do, I'm going to take the amount and divide it by the number of other bots, and then send each bot that amount. So if I do that now, as it's written, right? What happens now? Currently, it'll take the difference, which is 2, and divide by number of other bots, also 2. So that's going to equal 1. It will send each bot 1, resulting in this. This bot has an equalized balance. This one is now over capacity. This one is at 6, which is under. That's not what I want. What I need to do is new, check each bot and see if it is over capacity. Just forget it. Let that bot equalize its own balance. If it is, skip it. Not going to send anything to it. You're over your balance, forget it. Take diff 2 and divide by number of non-overcap bots, now 1, which equals 2. Send non-overcap bot, send each non-overcap bot 2. The end result is this. So it goes from 10, 9, 5 to 8, 9, 7. When bot 2 runs, it'll realize that it is 1 over capacity. It will send the bot it should send it to the bot with the lowest balance. Hey Flux, welcome in. How you doing? Nice to see you. Working math, doing math right now. Blech. Trying to make my botnet more resilient. I'm trying to minimize the number of transactions I do into and out of my botnet, but making sure that it can properly equalize when it has like very disparate balances between the nodes instead of them just all kind of like being off by a little amount. So what I should do, next bot to check in, let's say, is bot 3. Bot 3 is under the equalized balance, so it does nothing. Next bot to check in is bot 2. Bot 2 is, so I should say it is over or at the equalized balance. Non-over bots, each non-over bot. Bot 2 is over. Actually, what's going to actually happen is next bot to check in is bot 1 again, because low cron cooldown. Bot 1 is at equalized balance, so it does nothing. Next bot to check in is bot 2. Check each bot, see if it is at or over. So it should just be, then it will take the def, which is 1, and divide by number of non-over bots, 1. Send to bot 3. then they're equalized. What I should do is I should prioritize sending to the bot with the lowest No, I don't have to prioritize anything. Don't send to bots that are over or at their capacity. Okay, so I have to not include bots. So what's the change here? I have to check the bots' balances. So other bot, I filter the other bots. Instead of doing online bots.length, I should do online bots whose balances are under the equalized balance. So let bots to receive equal online bots filtering where I don't remember what's in this. It's my bankNet. So they have a balance. I want the live balance though. This is getting really complicated. Where do I do the balance calculation again? Okay, hold on. Frag. Oh, that's fair. Thank you, Smork. Alright. So I have the bot scripts array. So online bots filter where for X where bot scripts at X. I actually don't remember what's in here. These are entries, so it should be X0. It should be the name of the bot. So dot balance will call the live balance on the bankNet user's public script, where the balance is less than the equalization balance. So only and then split that amount so divide by bots to receive dot length. I don't have to do length -1 anymore. Let bot to receive of this bot won't end up in here. I don't have to filter it explicitly because we are on it and we've already determined its balance. is fine. It's over capacity. The equalized balance is less than the balance of the current bot, so we already know it's not going to end up in here. So I can just make bots to receive. I can just do bot. I rename that bot of bots to receive. Bots to receive doesn't need a filter on it anymore. Sending balance to bot. Transfer it and say banknet equalization payment. Update the balance of the bot. Bot at 1. Dot balance. Oh shit, I fucked that up. Wait, did I fuck that up? What happened here? No, these are banknet objects. Bots to receive is the banknet objects. Right? Yeah. It's getting twisty. Update the last known balance of each bot. Update the DB balance of each bot as we exfer. Update this bot's balance after sending the equalization. Transfer less the upcoming chat's tax. Update the database. Notify offline bots if required. Done. So if we do this, the equalized balance is 8. Take the difference. The difference between the equalized balance and its current balance is 2. Divide by the number of non-overbots, 1. Send each non-overbot the equalization transfer. So it'll send bot 3, 2. And the new balance is the bot that's running is 8, this one's that one's 7. Bot 2 will equalize itself. Bot 3 will run and won't do anything. Bot 2 will send its balance to bot 3. Done. Then they'll be balanced. So they'll be equalized after the whole network has run its equalizations instead of right away when the first bot runs, because it doesn't need to be perfect. It just needs to be close. It just needs to be close. Right? Because if this were 100 instead, this would be 114. 114 divided by 3 is 38. Send each bot 38. Sorry, that's not right. Take the difference. A 100 minus 38, which is 62. So this would be 31. Send each of them 31. So this one goes down to 38. This one comes up to 40. And this one goes up to 38. still works. Still works even if none of them are over. Then this one will run, it'll send 2. It'll send 1 to each one, which is fine. And then they'll just be shuffling that 1 GC around amongst themselves. Okay. Sorry, 7, yeah. Okay. So that should be all right. Whoops. Oh, I did that. So what I could do to really test this is I could send like 100 million to the other bot. Okay, and then if I run my bot brain here, it shouldn't do anything. Right, it didn't do anything because it's under. If I go over here, I mean, I only have one bot though, so I just want to make sure I didn't break my existing balance. It transferred 99 million and change to the other one. And now my balances is the same. My banknet is, they're even. Okay, so it works with 2 bots. I didn't break anything by changing the equalization stuff. The real test is going to be adding another bank user, which I should do. Zybink. Oh. Yeah, right? It's gonna want, I'm in, I'm in, blah, blah. Wait a minute. Am I tier 0? Did I just create a tier 0 user instead of a VLAN user? Oh no, I already made the Zybink user. I didn't even see it, it's right there on my list. Alright. We're running out of time this morning. Okay, so is it in my whitelist? Should be. If I already created it. Zybink. Yeah, okay. So I should just be able to do I have any macros? Not really. Withdraw. I think I need 1 million GC to tier up. Oh, but I'm only tier 1 now. So I have to tier up to tier 2, which means I need lock stack. This, I think, is what Smork, maybe you, or it was Jorstar that was saying this, need a script to bring my new nodes online and get them their lock stacks set up. I'm going to put that on my plan here. Big to-do list. Need a script to online a new bot user, a new bankNet bot user quickly. So this is get needed locks, actually upgrades, because it also needs like a public slot and it needs a cron bot. Load them. I guess I should say get the locks in the optimal order, load them all. Okay. I'm also wondering if I should have my library user keeping my whitelisted users in the database and then I can add or remove them. If you buy them from the market, they'll auto-load. That's true. Buy them from the market, they will auto-load. So could just buy them in the order, in the optimal order. That's a good point. We're not going to get to this today. We're running out of time this morning. Okay. So yeah, so that's the next thing I need to do is I need to expand my banknet, and I need to be able to do that easily, because having to like it would be nice if I could just like create the new user, init them, and then just run a script that's like bring me online. Right? It gets like it gets all my upgrades loaded, and then I can upload the two scripts that I need, the ATM script and the botbrain script, and then just run the botbrain script and leave that user. And so turn it from like this 10-15 minute fussing that I have to do manually into like a 2-minute thing where I just run a series of scripts, upload a couple scripts, and then leave, and then it's online already. Because I'll have to be expanding this botnet. In fact, I kind of have to do that now, honestly, because yeah, I'm annoyed here because I have to do this now, but I'm racing the ad clock, so my banknet is full. It's almost full, yeah. So I want my automation. I want to let my automation rip today so that I can farm account NT stuff, but I don't want my banknet to get full because I don't have any code yet. That's still a to-do to handle deposits when my net is full or very close to capacity. Okay, so yeah, we're like running up against an ad here. So I think what I'm going to do, stop talking and do it. Well, I don't. My ad timer, I don't have enough time. I'm trying to think right now of whether or not I do this on stream. So if I do, I'm going to have to run an ad, even though there's only like 15 minutes left. So I'm going to run like a 30-second ad here, I think. Can I run a 30-second ad? Yeah, I can. Okay, so I'm just going to run a 30-second ad here. Alright. While that happens, I will go and get Did it seriously just run 2 ads back to back? Well, you won't get ads right now, Smart, because Jorstar gifted you a subscription. So subscribers don't see ads. Okay. Well, that's frustrating. Sorry, I think I double added there for a second. So, for those of you who aren't subbed, you're gonna see another Flex your turbo. Okay. Well, for those of you who are here watching who aren't subscribed or turboed, I think you're just gonna get a double ad right now. So for that, I apologize. Okay, I'm just gonna get all these locks set up. I don't really need to talk while I'm doing that, but I have to get my stack set up. So we're gonna send 19 to Zybink. Oh, right. That's okay. Okay. Actually, I wish there was an easier way to do all these macro copies. You can copy the file out of process, but you don't know if it auto applies or you have to do it before switching the user. Oh, interesting. Okay. Well, we'll look at that later. Okay, so now I should be able to send. Send that Glock. I have a couple account NTs in here. Just want to see which one is better. Oh, my upgrade list is different. So I'm going to compare 15 and 22. 22 is better. We'll look at what the lockbox looks like. Right? I keep forgetting that. 25, I think that's as high as they go, or as high as I've seen them go. 26 here. Do I have any others that I can give this user? Do I put data check v2 on? I don't. I have a warn instead, and then an easy 40. I think those are better because those are time wasters. Anyone who's trying to crack my bank user will have access to the data check. Yeah, exactly. It's just a lookup, right? And people have those lookups public. I kind of wish that the person who had that lower data check solve charged GC for it. Because it kind of sucks that you can just be like, trivialize this because someone else went and did all the hard work for you. I don't mind that the answers are there because, yeah, like I gave up partway through as well and just wanted the answers. But it'd be nice if it cost you something instead of it just being free. Okay. So, whoops. So I will have to buy the remaining locks that I don't already have now. So, account NT, so I need a contel, a warn, and a warn message. Alright, so I need to withdraw some amount. We're just gonna do like, we'll do 500 million. That should be enough to get through all my upgrades. Okay. Actually, you know what? I changed my mind. I'm gonna do the shopping for my primary user. I'm gonna copy this lock stack so that I don't have to keep getting sick of kind of have to keep switching back to that user. We'll just put it here for a sec. Okay. So I need a contel, a warn, an easy 40, and a warn message. Those are all. These are all just non-rarities, so I just get the cheapest one. Contel, I want to warn. $25 GC. $25? Okay. That's funny. That's such an undercut. Good grief. An easy 40. Whoops, let's leave that open. $7K50. And a warn message. You need to sell for at least 1101 GC to make a profit. It's not a percentage. There's like a flat transaction fee. That's less than a minimum market fee. Oh, yeah, so that's pretty funny. So someone has essentially paid me for that. 25 GC is such an insignificant amount of GC. It's so insignificant. That's like an accounting error for me. And they lost money on that. That's so weird. Yeah. I don't know why they did that. I don't know why they did that. Maybe it's some kind of honeypot and they're doing that to farm data. I don't know. Maybe it was a typo and they missed the K. You know what? I bet that's it. I bet that's what happened. They meant to undercut the average price of 50K to 25K and accidentally put it at just 25. Oh well. Their loss is my gain. Alright, so what do I... Okay, let's send all the ones that I have now. Oh, unload that. That doesn't need to be loaded. So send Bink. 26, 27, 28, and 29. Ah. 6, 7, 8, and 9. Okay, so what am I missing now? I need a Magnara and a Conspec, I think, are the only two that I'm missing. Magnara and Conspec. Magnara, and I want Magnara Len, I think, to be greater than or equal to 7? I think it only goes up to 7, right? Am I seeing that right? Wow. Wow. Huh. All right. That was a little shocking. A length 8. Holy fuck. Wow. I don't think I would be able... I don't think my script could crack a length 8. I don't think I could do it in like the 3 minutes of hardline. There's too many combinations. I would have to use an external dictionary. Again, I wish that the person that has that dictionary for Magnara solves would charge GC for it. It's kind of annoying when there's like a public script that's free to use that just solves these super high tier locks. Or high rarity locks, I should say. It's kind of frustrating. Because I know like my code could, given an infinite amount of time, solve this. But not given the 3-minute hardline time. Anyway, that's great. I'm going to keep that. I'm going to buy this other one. Only for $500,000 too. Wow. Shocking. Shocking. Thank you, Hactix. Alright, so 26... Why do I have a C003? This would almost be better on my primary bank user than on my current user. I should send the high length Magnara to my primary bank user because I don't really hold any GC on my main user. So it's more important there. Then I can load the length 7 one myself. Oh, right. And then I can call 2 and reorder 25 to 2. Okay. Go and equip that length 8 Magnara. Unload 4. Send Zybink 4. Reorder 11 to 4. And then load 4. And make sure I ended up with the right one. I did. Length 8. Crazy. It almost makes me think that... so Smorky, remember I have that key purchasing script that runs as part of my banknet's check-in. I feel like I should have a list of locks like this. Like if you see a Magnara with length 8 or higher, buy it as well. I should have like a rare, like, instead of just keys, I should have like a list of upgrades of different types. You know what? I'm gonna put that as a to-do in here. Like to-do would be actually no, because what the to-do should be inside the buy new key on the utils, and it should be like to-do. Make this into a generic buy wanted upgrade. Yeah, I mean, that's good enough. Buy wanted upgrade. So it would be a key, or it would be a high rarity Magnara, or whatever. Okay. So then I also need a public script. Why do I have a V2 public script? That's kind of a waste. It is a white one, but I only need one. I need a script slot and a cron brain. Alright, let's run bot brain here. Let's go back to my primary user. I need a pub script, a script slot, and a cron bot. Public script. I only need a V1. I need the cheapest one that exists. These ones that people basically nearly lose money on. A script slot V1. Again, basically losing money on these. And a cronbot. Now the cronbot I do want to be a little pickier with. V1, and I want the cooldown to have a specific amount. So I would like it to be less than or equal to, I think I had like 4,000 or something. Actually, if I look at my banknet, it should tell me what their cooldowns are. Oh, 2,400-ish is what I have my other one at. So if I do like 2,500. Ah, seriously? It must be a V2. What? Damn it. What does this one have equipped? It's a V1 cronbot with a cooldown. Am I stupid? Name, I want cronbot V1. I want the cooldown to be less than or equal to Ah, geez, I cannot type. Dollar less than or equal to 2,500. Wow, there aren't any. 26? Okay, there's some. That's weird. I guess I got lucky before and someone's been snatching them up. That's fair. Okay, so that should be everything. Let's unload 26 here, and we'll send these to, oops, shoot. Let's go back here and restart the bot brain. Okay. Then we will send Zybink 26, 27, and 28. Okay. Now I want the stack to match what I have over here. So we're going to do contel, account nt, and warn. Reorder 6 to 0. Account nt is going to be 2 to 1. And then 6 to 2. And then I want easy40, which is, so I want easy40 Magnara at Consbec. So easy40 Magnara and, oh, I didn't buy Consbec. I don't know if this matters so much. Why did I pick a Conspec? Why did I put Conspec in my bot order? I think because we just wanted all of the tier 2 locks, right? To make this harder for... I don't want a tier 1 user coming in and breaching my bank. That would be embarrassing. Alright. So... yeah, I guess it doesn't really matter. Like, what's this one? It's the same. It's also from Hactix, though. Not that I mind buying anything from Hactix. I just want to see if there's some variance here. That one's a bit better. Okay, we'll just buy that one. Did I win yet? Hey, Saul. Yes, I have won. This is now the end game. This is the post end game. This is New Game Plus. Locket is greater than Conspec in your opinion? Conspec is super easy to solve in one call. I mean, Locket's super easy to solve in one call too. You don't use Conspec at all? So, I mean, looking at that lock stack, Contel, Account NT, Warn, Easy40, Magnara, Lockbox, Glock. Lockbox is harder. Yeah, but I'm using Lockbox. So, it's more about, like, what do I do with that last lock slot? I have a slot for one more lock, right? So it's like, I already have all the good ones and the time wasters. So it's a toss-up. Put something that takes time. Right, but I have everything that takes time that's available up to tier 2. Contel wastes time. Easy40 potentially wastes time. Magnara potentially wastes time. Locket has to be brute forced. Oh yeah, you're right. You're you're right, Flex. I think I just forgot about that. So I should be replacing my conspecs with lockets. That's what I should be doing. Okay, well, enjoy the free 1 million GC Hactics, because I just bought that for no reason. So let me buy, yeah. So let me buy 3 copies of Locket. Bucket. I think it only goes up to rarity 2, right? At least it only goes up to rarity 2 on the market. And I want the highest... I want the highest count. Greater than... so I want greater than 10 to start with. Okay, a few of those. Greater than 12? No. Greater than 11? No. Okay. So I'm going to buy 3 copies of these. Okay. Oh, Saul, you want to play more Monster Hunter later today? It's like, it's all crappy out. I was going to mow the lawn, but it's raining thunderstorms today, so I'm not going to be able to do that. So I'm just going to be stuck inside. The highest count you can get on a locket is 16. Saul, you've got raining and storms there too. What a waste of a Saturday, huh? Yeah, so these ones are just 10s. Or those ones are 11s, I think. Those ones are all 11s, so it's not bad. But yeah, that's another thing. You know what I should do is I should just keep track here, like keys, missing keys, Magnaras over 7, lockets over 11, lockets as close to 16 as possible, I guess. I have a hard time thinking that someone's going to find a 16 length locket and then put it on the market. They'll probably hoard it, but you never know. All your stuff to do, Saul, is on the computer anyways. Authoring stuff, I'm guessing. I have a whole bunch of yard work that I need to get done. A whole bunch. I want to knock out this week on my week off. I haven't been able to mow my lawn in like 2 weeks, and it's been growing like absolutely crazy because of all the rain. But every time I have an opportunity to go cut the grass, it's raining. Alright. So I will send one of each of these lockets to each of my bank users. A lot of people never look at the stats. I did just get the length 8 Magnara. That's true. Yeah, maybe people get sloppy with their market lists. That'd be lucky for me. So many damn weeds came from the heat wave. Yeah, same. My front yard is not a lawn anymore. I replaced it last year with a full, like a pollinator garden, and it's all mulched. And the landscapers, I was like asking them while they were installing it. I was like, "Hey, should you guys be putting down like the landscape fabric in between the plants so that I don't get weeds through?" And they're like, "Mulch will do just fine." No, it's not true. It's just like a whole corner of it where all just weeds all coming in through the mulch. Even you knew that was a lie? Yeah. I should have insisted. Yeah, I should have insisted. Anyway, we'll see. Weeds get through concrete? Yeah, they do. Oh well, I'm not gonna do it. I'll get them to do it next year when I get the mulch replaced. If we're still even here, we may sell this house and then move to move this here. I don't know. But if I'm still here in the spring when they come to do the mulch replacement, or whenever, I'm going to ask them to put in the landscape fabric instead underneath while they have all the mulch up. All right. So we're going to go and we're going to replace these locks a bit. So we're going to unload the conspecs. We're going to load a locket in its place. Reorder 12 to 5. And then send Xylox 6. Run our bot brain, move to the next user. And we'll do the same thing here. We're going to unload 5. We're going to reorder 12 to 5. And we're going to load 5. And then send Xylox 6. Bot brain. Okay, and then the new user that we want to online. So this will be the first time adding a new node to my banknet. So we're going to see how smooth this goes. Because what should happen is the new user should come online. It should check in with a balance of nothing. And then the next bot to run should send it basically like a third of its balance. It should send roughly a third of its balance to the new node. Actually, I'm probably going to manually balance them. To be honest, I'm going to go and run the script on all 3 after I load the new node, just to make sure that they're all up to date. Because I know they will slowly equalize out on their own, but there's no point wasting... It's like 2 minutes, 1 minute to run the bot brains on all the users. Okay, so I wanted the... So what is the order that we want? We want Contel, Account NT, Warn, Easy40, Magnara, Locket. So reorder 11 to 5. Locket, Glock, Locket, Lockbox, Glock. Locket, Lockbox, Glock. Alright. Load 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Sys.warn message. Message is connection terminated. Unload 8. Reorder 11 to 9. 11 to 10. I don't want Glock last in case it changes account NT. You want another lock after it. No. Because what happens is the Glock, they'll hit the Glock. Yeah, so I think what happens, Smork, is they'll solve all the other locks. The last one will be Glock. They will have to make a transaction. Either I take money from them when they hit it, or they have to make a transaction to fill in the answer. And as soon as they make that transaction, before they submit their answer, account NT changes. So then they submit the answer for Glock, and it says your account NT is not correct. I have seen this happen multiple times to me. And you have to go all the way back to the beginning of the lock stack. So what I actually should have is I should have Easy40 before account NT. No, that doesn't matter. Once they find the Easy40, that's it. That won't matter. The account NT is fine where it is. I think this is the most optimal lock stack. I think. Anyway, only account NT resets. Yeah. Time to online the bot. I have to get its I have to get its scripts in here. So it needs copies of both of these. So I need to create a new folder for Zybink. Paste its scripts in here. I think it's already in my waitlist, right? Zybink, yep. So I can close this lock stack. I don't think I changed anything here, right? What did I change? This is Zybinks. This is Zybank. Zybonk. These are still doing this. I don't want to be doing that anymore. How did that happen? Zybonk. Zybank. Something went weird there. What happened? I could probably just delete this now because we're definitely not doing it this way anymore. Okay, and then I'm gonna have to update all the scripts because something looks like something weird might have happened there. Okay. I'm gonna load 9 and 10. They're gonna up bot brain, and we're gonna up bank, and bank has to be public. Sorry, ATM. Oh, I didn't save them. Okay, and we have to wait for ATM to finish shifting. Flux, in your experience with your cracker, sometimes when you solve G-lock, it will show you the next lock before taking you back to account NT. So you also try to have something after G-lock just in case. I suppose I could swap lockbox, right, and G-lock. There's not much of a difference in that order. So we'll swap 7 and 6. because the G-lock counts for 2 transactions. One when you withdraw the money to give it, and one when you send the money to G-lock. But if there's no lock after it, it won't take you back. Possibly, right? I think because sometimes the account NT will reset, but it may accept the same answer. I think that might actually be a gap, a possibility gap that I have in my cracking script, is that I might potentially be... So what happens if I have... Oh no, because I'm detecting. So what I do is if I only reset my account NT solve if the question comes back up, because that's what will happen if you have the incorrect value. It just poses the question again. So you'll have account NT solved, you'll move on to some other lock, and at some point either the user you're breaching sends you a transaction, an NPC dying at an inconvenient time sends you a transaction, whatever. If the account NT resets, no matter what lock you're working on, you'll suddenly get a response back that says find the net GC between blah. Doesn't matter, you could be running on easy 40 primes, going through the primes, and it will suddenly, instead of saying incorrect prime, it'll suddenly say give me the net GC. So what I did is I detect one of those account NT questions coming back from any response if I'm not working on the account NT lock already, and I already gave it an account NT solve. So I have something in my solve object for account NT, and I'm not currently working on it, and it's yet the location has asked me. Then I reset. I just reset my account NT. I log that I detected a change, and then I just clear it and go back into the top of my account NT solve from the start, just like normal. This is really finicky. The account NT stuff has been really, really finicky because there's so many different ways that account NT can get screwed up. I think that what I have here is now working, and the only issues I have are now around having enough runtime and making sure I'm not over generating possibilities. And so that's why now I just have the stats. I just have to gather data now and crunch the numbers from my automation output, and then I might find some relationship between the different variables and room for maybe optimizing. Otherwise, I do have my automation, my out of game automation will detect when it's stuck on an account NT and then just bail, because sometimes you just can't solve it, right? I have the same problem with data check V, the tier 3 answers coming back in a high rarity V2. I don't have those answers yet. Or lockboxes for keys I don't own. Those are still potential failures as well. It seems to happen so often that my first user on a hardline, my first NPC I try to breach, the very first lock is a key I don't have. It's like, fuck. That's like 4 NPCs that I just wasted. The hardline, enter hardline, and then leave hardline right away. I hate seeing that. Okay, my ATM script should be done shifting now. I should just be able to call ATM, right? Yeah, okay. So now I can... I think I updated. I'm on Zybink. There's my bot brain. I should be able to load 11. Actually, I should be able to run the bot brain, and it should load itself when it's done. Cannot read property balance. I did forget something. I forgot to add it up here to this array. Go! There we go. So we'll run the bot brains on all of these. That should send a huge amount. Yep. This one should send a huge amount too. Yep. And this one should send like a small amount or nothing. Nice. All right. So that's a bit of work. So there's room to script some of that onboarding process. There's a secret script hinted at in the tier 2 data check questions that might point you towards some of the rare answers. Yeah, I think like the tier 3 answers for data check is going to be like its own whole thing that we're going to have to go and dive into that, because I haven't poked around any of the tier 3 lore or scripts or anything. So we're going to have at some point, probably soon, we're getting close to the point where I'm going to have to do some tier 3 exploration, because I don't have any of the data check answers, and I haven't touched any of the low sec scripts, nothing like that. So that'll be a dive that we're probably getting pretty close to at this point. My banknet is pretty, like, are the big problems that I have. So my adding a node to my banknet was a little bumpy. So there has some optimization to be done there. I have the count NT. Still not perfect. I don't know if it'll ever be perfect, but I know that there's a little bit more room for improvement. I need keys. I need better locks, because like that Magnara with a length of 8, I was very happy to see that on the market. Yeah, so it's okay. You haven't touched tier 3 either. It's true. Nor have you touched tiers 2 or 1 or 0. You have this game on your wish list, don't you? Oh, thank you, Smork. Oh, it's almost lunchtime. It is lunchtime. All right. Hey, Smork, or anybody who's here. So, I have a general question for chat. Smork has said he's got a lot of Zycoin saved up. Because Smork is a frequent viewer, and for which I am very appreciative, by the way, Smork. But there's not really a whole lot of redemption options. Does anyone have any suggestions for redemption options that I could try adding? I do have a TTS thing.
Hey, buddy, welcome to the
Manum.
Theater.
Manum187, thank you very much for the follow. Welcome in.
Baby, can you focus?
What do I need to focus on, Free Frag? Do you want me to focus on Flux's question? Focus on nothing. Okay. Is that good? Feels intimate. Stream did not freeze. I'm just that good. I'm just that good at eye contact with my camera. That was a legit me stopping Smork for like 10 seconds. Some of the tier 3 answers involve old events and stuff, so you recommend event.stimulus when you get around to it. Okay, let me put a note on my scratch pad for that. Event.stimulus. Okay. Thanks for that hint, Flux. Yeah, so I mean, yeah, I don't have a whole lot of chat redemption stuff. So, I don't know. I have a TTS thing that I think is kind of set up, which could be a coin dump as well if people want to start just harassing me with TTS messages. I'm not sure what else I could do there. I could do some crazy stuff. I don't know. Maybe I have channel points and convert them up into a higher currency that people can bank, and then I don't know. I can code something, let people cash them in, and be like, write a script that does X, and then I could just do it. I'm not sure. Anyway, if anyone has any ideas, you could drop them in Discord if you want. I'll put a link to the Discord here. So that's my Discord, just if you want stream announcements of when I go live playing stuff other than hackmud. Otherwise, yeah, if Smork, if you want to just like put some suggestions in the chat in Discord there, and I'll see what I can do, what's within my capabilities. Spend 10k points, attack this location. Oh god. Oh. Someone's gonna do that and drop Zez and then make me suicide. Just suicide onto a Zez location. That actually seems pretty funny for redemption. The only issue is it's a hackmud specific redemption. So it would be nice to have some higher redemptions just in general that can be used on other streams. What if I nail it by accident? I think my problem is that some of those locations may be a higher tier than me, so I just straight up can't breach them at all, because I don't have any of the tier 3 stuff. But that actually seems pretty funny. Bow kill. That might be something pretty funny to do. Yeah. All right. So we got a bankNet online. We added a node to it, so I'm down from 82% capacity to 51% capacity. I have one of my bank nodes is actually running on a quite significantly shorter cooldown of 13 minutes and 7 seconds. And that's so I can check for keys more frequently. Those are my key stats. Yeah, so I basically just need to run more automation now. I need to run more automation. I need to farm some account NT statistics. And I don't know. We're getting pretty close to tier 3. If we look at the plan here, and close some of these. Pretty good. We're getting pretty close to the... Is there a desire? Like, does anyone here think that my cracking or scraping scripts are something that they would use themselves if I made them escrowable? Because like my cracking script, I don't know. I think Magic Missile only does tier 1, right? And my Unicrack seems to be doing fairly well. I would have to do work in there, though, to make sure that it can't be abused if I were to make it public. That someone doesn't pass, like, one of their scripts into it and then, like, wreck me up by doing, like, GC of owner or something like that. But that was in here. Consider making tools public, I guess. How would I handle a lockbox key request? So if it were public, I suppose that I could either just equip it if you have it in your inventory and not use my key storage, or allow someone else to pass a scripter that does key retrieval. that's like, if you want a key and you have it on another user, or you have a tool that you can run, then I can call your scripter with a set of parameters that you give me. Something like that. It would be tough, but I think it's doable. It would be tough. And I would also have to build in all kinds of protection to make sure that, again, that can't be abused. That when I call that, it's not going to take my GC or my upgrades. Automate integration with Redbox. What's Redbox? There's something else that I need to do too in here, and that is I need to get I don't know if this is something that's be interesting on a stream or not, but figure out how to get a VM up with a second copy of the game running, so I can have automation running full time. Redbox is a key rental script. It doesn't have all the keys, and you got to make sure it returns the key afterward. Yeah, so I mean, like, I could have, yeah, so if you use it and you're not on my whitelist, but you have paid your escrow, then I could use Redbox to get your key that you need for you, and then unequip it and return it back. Yeah, I don't know. All right, anyway, that's it for today. I gotta go get some lunch. I don't know if it's going to stop raining or not, but I got some stuff I need to get done as well today. But we're getting pretty close to tier 3, I think. We're getting pretty close, because a lot of this stuff is just kind of like getting things that I have stable. And then, yeah, we're getting pretty close. Some of these are just nice to haves. Right? Like, I don't need this. I don't need these yet. The PvP defense tactic will only really matter so much on tier 3, and my tier 3 user is going to be empty because I don't want anyone taking my upgrades. But I'm going to start losing keys and stuff, right? So now, you could require an upfront payment and track the user's bank with my scriptdb to handle GLock, or just let them know ahead of time you're taking a 5% cut from all cracked boxes. Yeah, I could do that too. I could take a cut and have escrow. Yeah, there's a bunch of stuff, right? Like escrow, obviously. Take a cut when using Unicrack. There is use Redbox key rental for escrow users. Protection from scripter abuse. Non-loc script targets. Yeah, that kind of thing. All right. Anyway, thanks everyone for coming by, and check me out today. I appreciate it. I appreciate each and every one of you for coming and showing me your support and coming and hanging out and brainstorming with me and everything. So I will be back on Tuesday for my regular stream, where I will quite likely be doing more hackmud, and there might be some bonus streams in between where I play probably Monster Hunter. So, free frag. Thanks for the 30 bits, free frag. I appreciate that. All right, so everyone be good. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Have a great week. Yeah, bow kill. I will be doing some probably Monster Hunter World. So if don't tell you what to do. No, I'm telling you what. You have a good weekend, and you have a great week, and be a wonderful person. I hope your life goes well. Your life is going to go well. You're gonna listen to me. No. No, I'm not gonna let you be miserable. Anyway, everyone be good to each other, okay? Thanks for coming and hanging out. I hope to see you all again very soon. All right, take care. Bye, everyone.